Good afternoon and welcome back. You join me once again in my garage in front of my lovely pink wall. The only difference is, instead of there being things in my garage, I'll turn the camera around for you, it is completely empty. That pink wall, of course, being on the other side where I've got my utility room. So we've got here around about a 4x3 space. So it's 3 meters that way. It's about 4 meters this way. And tension is, or rather why it's completely empty now, is because I need to seal the floor, because what I'm going to do is turn this into a home gym. I've already got like a multi-gym kit, which we had in our previous house, but that was a concrete prefab garage, which during the summer was very, very hot. During the winter was very, very cold. This, on the other hand, it seems to be okay with its normal garage door. I mean, that wall's, if I turn now pointing at, that wall is insulated. There is the outside. That wall is insulated. And this wall, of course, is also insulated. The garage itself is rather quite warm in the winter. Not super warm because there's no heating in here, but it's warmer than the ambient temperature outside, whereas the other one was not. Also, I don't get stuff covered in condensation like you do with a prefab concrete garage. Anyway, off tangent. We're off topic on a tangent. What I've done, everything's been emptied out now. I've swept the floor, I've hoovered the floor, and I've cleaned the floor. I didn't show you me taking bits out because that's not particularly exciting. I also didn't show you me sweeping and hoovering because that's also not particularly exciting. But now that that's been done, what I need to do is seal the floor, and I've got some special concrete sealant. Is this stuff. Concrete sealer for concrete floors, as it says on, I was going to say on the tin, but it's on the tub. So basically what I need to do with this is, well, pour it on the floor and then use this medium to heavy masonry roller to roll it out on the floor so that it seals up. Within about 4 hours from it becoming like a milky, dirty substance, it should turn clear and then be good to walk on. And then 24 hours, it's good for vehicles. Essentially, my plan is to do that, wait the 24, and then tomorrow, well, I say tomorrow, today's Saturday, hopefully tomorrow, which will be Sunday, start painting the floor with some garage floor paint. And then once the floor's been painted a couple times, because obviously they take 24 hours to dry, it's like a red colour. I don't really care too much about the colour. I would have preferred black or like a grey, but they just didn't have any. For some reason, the Ronseal red was, I think it's Ronseal, but it was cheaper. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's not a lovable colour. It's like a rust colour. So I suppose if I have something rusty in here, you'd never know. But, well, that's actually not what's going to be on the floor. What's going to be on the floor once that's been painted a couple times is we've got like these gym mat things, these auto body mats, which I'll put down to protect the floor again. So, yeah, it should stop the floor from getting dusty. That's why I'm doing all of this, basically, so that the concrete dust doesn't keep appearing, because it has been rather quite dusty in here, clearing it out, and I can feel it in my chest. Probably would have been a good idea to wear some sort of mask, despite the fact that there is a huge gaping hole on one side of the wall. It was still dusty enough for me to go, oh, wheezy. Anyway, what I'm going to do now is get that, pour it on the floor, use the roller, and then start rolling it across. Like I say, it looks like a milky substance, and the reason for that is so that you know where you've been and you don't go over it twice, because apparently it says don't seal where it's already been sealed. I don't know. Not sure why. It doesn't tell me why. But hey, let me get on and start doing that bit. You rejoin me cotching down around the back of my car like a squatting slab. Turn the camera around. Let me show you what's going on. Put it in the 0.6, as I've said before, the best angle to ever use on a camera. If you're wondering what that noise is in the background, that's my neighbour power washing his car. You can see here where it's all milky on the floor. That's what that is. It says that it starts off milky and it slowly dries. To be honest with you, it did not take that long whatsoever. I don't know whether I've applied a thick enough coat. So this says it does 20 meters squared. I'm probably about a quarter. I've used a quarter of it, which means that's 5 meters squared. But as this is 4x3, that means that this is a 12 meters squared space. So if I'm honest, I don't think I've used enough of this, because only certain parts of it are still milky. The rest of it seems to have dried rather quite quickly, because it's do not let it pool anywhere. So I didn't let it pool anywhere. Yeah, and it's still like this. So I don't know. I'm going to give it an hour or so for it to dry before I close the door, because apparently it's going to rain today, which, well, 39% of the area will be covered in rain from 5 o'clock, which is in 20 minutes or so. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it looks in about an hour. Hopefully it doesn't rain, because I'd much rather keep the garage door open to let a little air flow in, because like I say, it's 16 degrees today and it is the back end of February, because in Britain, you know, it's just a weird place with weird weather. So yeah, let this dry, and then hopefully tomorrow, once it's been dried, once it has dried, yeah, once it is no longer moist, I'm going to do a first coat of the garage floor paint. However, I need to go out and buy another roller for that, because I haven't got one. I'm going to apply it to a reasonably thick, so that I don't have to do like 2-3 coats, because if you do it quite thin, it'll end up looking pants. I also don't have an extendable pole, so I had to pretty much hands and knees this jobby. However, I did wear safety gloves, because the stuff I've got down there, that's corrosive to the skin, and yeah, my skin's gentle, delicate, like porcelain. Royal Dalton. You might as well call me RD, Royal Dalton. Yeah, that's cool. One last look around. There you go. That's what it is. I'll give it a little bit of time, and the next time you see me, I'll be about ready to apply my, I think it's Leyland Trade paint. In fact, I'll show you now. Right. Yeah, so the paint I've got is Leyland Trade Heavy Duty Floor Paint, which is floor slate. Maybe it is slate. I thought it was red coloured. Maybe it is slate coloured. I'll find out when I crack it open. I assumed it was red because this bit's red. But yeah. You rejoin me walking back into my garage, which currently smells a little bit like paint, because I forgot to record this bit before I started. So let me flip the camera around. This is the floor now that it's, let's put it back in 0.6, as I've said many times before, the best angle that any camera needs to be in. So I have started doing the cutting in, because it turns out that it wasn't red. That Leyland Trade paint that I got is actually slate grey. It doesn't need to be pretty, just needs to get the job done, hence why it looks like it's splashed up against the bottom of that pink board, and it is a little bit fumey in here, so I'm just going to step outside for a moment. The floor is dry from putting on that floor sealant. It's now, what day are we? Thursday. So it's been 4 days or 5 days? 5 days since I've done it. Plenty of time for it to dry. And now I'm just going to get first coat of paint on. Like I say, done the cutting in, and now I've got my roller and my pole so that I can roll the rest of it out, close the garage up, and then that will be the first part of this done. Let me turn around so you can see my pink wall. Let's see. That's how you know it's my garage, pink wall. Yeah, let me get these bits done, and then I'll give you a quick show of what it looks like with it painted. And then I suppose I've just got to wait for it to dry. It says to do 2 coats, so I'll definitely do the one, see what it looks like. If it looks rubbish, then it needs a second coat. If it doesn't look rubbish, then maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Because I think the paint assumed I was just putting it directly onto concrete, not sealed concrete. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Probably a good idea to do 2. I've got an extra roller, another roller brush. So let's check it out. I'm stood outside this time instead of in front of that pink wall, and the reason for it, if I show you the pink wall. Yes, that's right. I have completely painted everything. Let me turn the camera, put us back into that 0.6 view. Oh, 0.6, there we go. Let me step back. That's just a bit of masking tape that I've got running along the bottom so I can do a nice clean edge. And that masking tape just sort of covers up where the garage door is going to sit. I'm just going to leave the door open for the moment just so that it can dry. I've got the light on. Let me just turn the light off. There we go. It's a bit fumey in there, so I need it to sort of stay open and get dry and defumify a little bit. I've gone over it the once. You can sort of see slight imperfections. I suppose that's a cut in there, and there's little bits where you can see see this colour, the underpaint, the sealed part of the paint underneath it. So I think it is going to need a second coat. Got my roller here, and I've got about half a tin's worth of paint left. I did put it on reasonably thick, Yeah, should be all right. Hopefully it will dry quite nicely. Not sure how long it dries. I think it said it's something like 4 hours for it to be touch dry, and then a day for it to be properly dry, and then 7 days for it to be considered like dry for you to use it and put vehicles and heavy stuff on top of it. So I guess if I come back to this or revisit this either tomorrow, which will be Friday afternoon, or Saturday morning, shall we say, that way it would have been dry from this coat. That way I should be able to put another coat of paint on and then leave it till Sunday. Yeah, then I can leave it till the following weekend before I then put my mats on it and all my lifting equipment, because I've probably got about half a ton to a ton's worth of weight plus the weight of the multi-gym and so forth. So yeah, plenty of time to get it all sorted. I don't know what the next clip's going to be, so I'll leave it to you, future Alex, to show people what you think they deserve to see. It's been a week now since I've put the second layer of paint down on the garage floor, so let me give you a show. Here we are, this nice slate grey. Now you may notice that I've already started laying these interconnecting car mat floor tiles. Unfortunately, they don't look like they've fit together too well, and there is a reason for that. It's because those two, these 6, which actually do sit together really, really well, and these few that I'm now just walking on are all different brands, which is annoying. However, so these 4 here and these 2 Halfords, these 6 were some, I don't know, some no-name brand, and then these 2 were some no-name brand ones as well. So at the moment, I've got a load more Halford ones to put down, so I'm hoping they all interconnect nicely. They seem to fit perfectly along, sort of like 5 along this way. I've got enough, and then if in the end this looks like it's too rubbish, or not too much rubbish, but looks rubbish, I'll have to go out and get 2 more packs of Halford ones. Bearing in mind it's 2 for £24, and the reason why I'm not too concerned and I've put them at the back, because you'd say, well, if you're going to replace them, why wouldn't you put them at the front where it'll be easier? Well, all the weight equipment's going at the back, so you're not really going to be stood on this bit here. It's just there for when the weights are on it. And although they don't seem to interlock particularly well, when you stand on them, they're all the same height, so not too much of a concern to me. But yeah, that's what it's looking like so far. I'll give you a little glimpse of what it's going to look like once I've got the last few bits installed. Yeah, so I didn't like the fact that I had the different sized ones down. I changed them. I've now got all of this stuff. There you go. So I've changed them. They all fit a little bit nicer. I now need to go out and buy 2 more packs so I can fill up. Do I need 2 more, or do I just need 1 more? You get 6 in a pack, so I need 1 more pack. I might buy 2, because then I can cut some in half and then line up here. I mean, I've got these spare ones. I'm rude to get rid of them. These ones at the bottom, I'll probably put them in the shed. Actually, that's a good idea. I'll probably put these a bit on the bottom of my shed. I don't think I need to keep any of these. The hoarder in me says, keep them, you might need them. But I already know that the missus will say, get rid of them, you definitely don't need them. So that's the new challenge. So I think it's another trip to one of my 3 favourite shops. No, it's not Tesco's. It's Halfords. The third, obviously, being the fish and chip shop, because there's only 3 places that I go. Let's go to Halfords. And here it is. So that's all the flooring down. I think it looks all right. Let's have a look. Step back a little bit. Yeah, that's the flooring on. Got the. Is the light on? Light is on. Makes no difference because it's the middle of the bloody day. Look at that. But I mean, yeah, I feel like that's quite good. It's not too bad to walk on. To be honest with you, it's quite nice to walk on. A weird thing, not a weird thing, I suppose this is what it's specifically designed to do. So this floor is absolutely freezing cold. No problem whatsoever. I can literally get down on the floor, lay down like this. It's not cold at all. I'd have thought I'd be laying inside. So, yeah. It's a good quality floor. I like it. Does exactly what it needs to do. The only thing I'm left with now is all of this. These bits that are left over. 1 an open pack, 1 pack that is open, but it's a different type. The extra ones I had to go get from Halfords are fit in, not perfectly fit. Where is it? Let's have a look. There's like a little bit here where it doesn't fit in perfectly snug, but it does there. Whereas all the new ones that I got, they're all snug with each other. So whereas that's the join between the ones that I bought a little while ago and the ones that I had to go out today to buy, which leads me to believe that just like with with hardwood floor or laminate flooring, they're all manufactured at slightly different times, so they might have that ever so slightly different fit and finish. You would have hoped it was all identical, but because that's what they say they are. But then again, when you're paying £20 for 2 packs, which covers 1.2 by 1.8 is 1 pack, so that'll be 2.4 by 3.6 meters, which is a large space. Yeah, in fact, what's this size? So this particular space that I'm stood in is 4 meters by 3 meters. And I've got 1, 2, 3, it was 6, wasn't it? So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So 5 packs of 6, which means it's cost me, well, technically £60 because I have an extra pack, but you would argue there's £50 worth on the floor. And then there is a £10 there, and then those are ones that we were gifted. They do not fit into the garage floor. Thank you, but I'll have to make use of them elsewhere. In fact, you know what I'm going to use them for? The pack that I haven't used around. So that pack which I haven't used, either that one or these ones, although these ones are not in as good condition because that's obviously brand new. No, that one I'm going to put in the shed. Yeah, and use it in the shed. Those ones fill up the spaces in the shed if I need any extra, and anything that's left over. When I have to lay my ass on the ground when looking underneath a car, let's be honest, a car is the Rovar, then I can use that, and it's not cold on the ground, it's not cold on my body, and I don't have to lay on a piece of cardboard. So yeah, because cardboard's for oil, these weird floor mats are for me. I don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, next bit of the garage is done. Oh, last bit to point out, instead of being all jagged, got a nice little smooth edge as well, which matches my nice little smooth paint edge. So yeah, perfect. Right, it's now been a little while since the last clip. As you saw before, floor's all down. When I say it's been a little while, it's probably been around about 6 weeks, maybe a month, but I've managed to get it all sorted. So behind me, if I give you a quick little flash, look, you can see all that stuff's up. Let me turn the camera around and you can see how the home gym has come along. I wouldn't say it's the be all and end all. Here we go, put it in the old 0.6, as I say many times, best aspect ratio. So the space I've got, just to refresh you, was 4 meters that way, 3 meters that way. I've got the air bike, which FYI is the worst invention ever known to man. However, it does absolutely murder you out. So, you know, they say no pain, no gain, and all that sort of rubbish. I'd much rather there be no pain. It is awful. It makes your lungs burn. Still, exercise air bike, or as it's decided to be called, hit bike. Got a few of my weights knocking around. So dumbbells, kettlebell, various attachments for the multi-gym itself, lady dumbbells, which if you want to do your wrist curls, and then you've got all the weights as well. I do have some 25s, which I've yet to pick up. I've got the 20s down the bottom. Got the car stuff and the Christmas bits over this side, so happy days to that. And then some flooring, because, you know, who doesn't need spare flooring? Leg adjustment, that's underlay. That bucket just there, let me zoom in. Whoop. That bucket has actually got a few other little random light attachments in it as well. But then got my multi-gym set up, so it gives me the capability to do my bench press. Yeah, it's on the Smith machine, but it doesn't matter. That's what I need. And unlike Smith machines that you'll get at the gym, this one is not sort of like assisted. So there's no cables or anything attached to this. It quite literally is a 20 kilo bar, which weighs 20 kilos. So you still get the same fear of death if it was to just fall on you. Got to put the safety supports in, which is there. Built-in pec deck. You can use it with lat pull downs, and then down the bottom there you can see I've also got for like any sort of cable pulls I want to do on the floor. So there it is. If I step back, you can see where it was painted, the flooring, all the bits in there. I still managed to put some of my car tat just on this side. Oh, everybody's favourite brand, the black and orange. Blooming yeah, still got all of it in there. So I'm quite happy with the way that it's turned out. Despite the fact that I think, when did I get this finished? Last week? Despite the fact that I got this finished last week, I have yet to, other than just sit on the machine and use the machine lightly, do anything. Because I've still been going to my normal gym, mainly because I'll finish work or get off the train once I've finished work and then go to the gym because it's halfway home and then come home. So I've been doing that, but as of this week, because my renewal on the gym starts next week, so I need to cancel it now so I don't have to pay another month's direct debit, I can then start doing everything from home. Only thing I don't have is some form of like sled push, but I don't think I need to worry too much about that. Is there anything I don't have? No, I can do my squats, deadlift, bench press, shoulder press. I could do with a few more dumbbells, which would be nice. I can do all different forms of cables. I can do all different forms on the pec deck, rear delts if I want to do that. Yeah, I can do my legs with this bad boy here. So you can lay down on the bench and do your extensions or your leg curls. I mean, don't get me wrong, I personally wouldn't be loading up blooming 100 keys on that. Little bit of metal just there. Whoop. That bad boy, I don't think it would take 100 keys. And you can see by things being a little bit dusty because they were in transportation. Next to my lawnmower, actually, that's why there's grass on there. If I really feel like I want to rep the 1980s, then I can bust out some of these, or the 1960s, I can bust out some of these old school bad boy bars. In fact, I've even got the Olympic bar tucked away in the corner. However, I don't know how well I'd feel about dropping that bar consistently on this type of matting. Maybe if the mats were a little bit thicker, be all right. And then these two here, they're mirrors that used to be in the house. Going to put them on the wall because obviously standard weightlifting guys, you want to watch that muscle contract or be vain. Depends how you feel about it. I can't remember what it was. Was it That's So Raven? Do you remember that from the early noughties when I'm sure it was like upper body, lower body, upper body, lower body, upper body, lower body, and then on Sunday we flex. So yeah, that really says something about my age. Still, happy with the way it's turned out, and I'm going to make good use of it and hopefully better myself a little more. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed watching the progress of how I quote unquote transformed the garage. Don't get me wrong, it's not like these guys in America or these people with infinite amounts of cash. I mean, this is a realistic garage transformation into a home gym. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, thank you very much. Please give us a like. If you'd like to subscribe, I could really do with some more people subscribing. I think the little magic box usually floats up around here somewhere. So like, subscribe, drop a comment. If you want to know anything, by all means, please reach out. Yeah. Next week, probably some more car content. I'm thinking about trying to do some other stuff as well, but I'm not entirely too sure yet. There'll be some more car bits. You never know, maybe I'll do some lifting stuff because I've been around fitness pretty much my entire life. My mum owns a local gym in Peterborough and she's run it since the late 70s, early 80s, which is quite good. In fact, that's where my mum and dad met, was at the Peterborough Weight Training Club, is what it's called. So if you want to check them out, by all means, please feel free to. If you're in Peterborough, go down there and you want some old school lifting, which pretty much has equipment that's very similar to what we've got here, except more custom-built power racks and custom-built benches and so forth, because it's all custom-built. That's the only way I can describe it. Yeah, it's all custom-built. Everything's custom-built. So yeah, and a lot of Olympic and athletic training they do there as well. So yeah, if ever you want to do that, hop down to Peterborough Weight Training Club, the premier place to go in Peterborough. If you don't want to go to like a cookie cutter gyms, I think they call them. But anyway, thank you very much. Please like, subscribe, drop a comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.